Good morning, everybody, and how are you doing today? I know this is a late show for me. Normally, you get me an hour earlier, but it's been one of those things, so I'm going to keep it really short and sweet. Breaking news as Donny van der Beek is in Frankfurt, Germany, as he gets ready to sign a new contract loan with the potential buy option for 11 million euros for Eintracht Frankfurt. Guys, stay tuned, and if you're just getting in, and if you're new, please hit that subscribe button, check the notification bell, make sure it's set to all. And you know what? Strap in, guys, because it's going to be a quick one. A few information, transfer talk around the league, and a little bit of news that I have so far. But tomorrow is the big show. Tomorrow morning, I cover transfers across the Premier League, guys. Get in, and it's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan. Hi guys, and you know how it is. I'm back and here with the information, and you know I always got my trusty presentation with me. And let's start right off. As German coach divulges his desire to sign my outstanding Manchester United player, guys, and it's you know what? That player is Donny van der Beek, guys. Donny van der Beek is in Frankfurt right now, undergoing his medical. That's his team photo with the uniform and some Frankfurt fans that I know. One of my really best friends, his name is Leonard, and he's like, Donny is coming home. And I'm probably going to end up going to a Frankfurt game, guys. So you know what? I'm all for it. And I wish the youngster and I wish Donny van der Beek the best. As a United fan, a lot of people might think he's a flop and whatnot, but I think it just was one of those things where the timing wasn't right. The manager at the time that signed him wasn't right. The team wasn't right. And even when the time was right, then he got an injury. So maybe it was fate. Maybe it was written in the stars. Maybe he's that guy that's going to lead Frankfurt to another European league, guys. So, it's one of those things, love it or hate it, or sad or joyful. Let's all wish Donny van der Beek the best, and hopefully his medical is successful and he finally gets the game time and playing time that he deserves, guys. Because, at the end of the day, all footballers' dream are to be their best. And to be the best, they have to play regularly. And as we move on, guys, it's going to be a short stream. Manchester United, Sancho swap deal with Barcelona, and the player they want, well, as you can see, it's none other than him. And just moving to Barcelona a few months ago from Leeds United, and Rafinha is not getting the game time that he wants. Also, Barcelona has been struggling with some financial difficulties and need to make money. They need to clear their player wages. I know Manchester United fans are more interested in what's going on with Frankie, but who knows, what's going on with Frankie. Maybe we might just get him. You never know. It's going to be a shock move in the summer. There's a few shocks that are about to happen in January, guys, because as we know, no one knows, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. Senior officials at Manchester United have just recently flown to Saudi Arabia, and it's noted that they are in talks for a quartet of United players who will be seemingly making way as United go into the January window with the only option of sell to buy, guys. You know what I mean? And it's not the only club that looking at Jadon Sancho. As we talk about it, other clubs, especially RB Leipzig, who are into the next round of the Champions League, are heavily interested in signing the young starlet from Manchester United who has been out of favor, Jadon Sancho. But his 20 million contract is a talking point. Will there be any resolution to this? Will he move on, or will he apologize to Eric Ten Hag and stay at Manchester United and win trophies like he originally said he was going to do? Is he going to fight for the number 7 like he wanted in his contract? Or is he just going to capitulate and go back to Dortmund or, another club? You know, it's one of those things, guys, where, you hate it or like it. It's one of those situations that, it helps no one, it benefits no one. It's just a lose lose all around. And so much potential, so much talent, so much, you know, opportunity, the lack thereof. There's always going to be times in life when you think you're the best, but sometimes you just have to put your head down and work hard. Sometimes you have to take it on the chin. Sometimes you can't, you have to disagree, but you have to show out with your effort. Sometimes you can't just say you're scapegoated or say you're this or say you're that. You just got to work hard sometimes. Life is not always easy. And as we move on, guys, it's one of those things. More transfer talk as Fabrizio Romano comments on Sasha Bowie linked with Manchester United and Arsenal transfers away from Galatasaray. And the young right wing back has been said to be interested in a move to the Premier League. And as we saw him this season playing against Manchester United, he is very talented, mobile, and definitely has a good engine. He's good in defense and he knows the dark arts. Tell me what you're thinking, football fans. Would you have him at Manchester United? Or is he just one of those players where too hype one season, not enough sample size? Your thoughts and comments below, guys. Let's hear what's going on with Sasha Bowie as the stage heats up. 7, 10 more days until the transfer window officially opens in the Premier League, but it's already opened in Germany. So, guys, some clubs are making moves, and it has been said that Manchester United has been linked with this youngster, Nico Williams from Bilbao. $100 million swoop for Athletic Bilbao player. Maybe it's just the paper talk, guys, because, as I've been mentioning to you a lot, Manchester United is paying attention to a young starlet called Marcus Leonardo, who's going to cost them in the region of 17 to 20 million pounds. And Arsenal is also hot on his heels right now, saying that they're prepared to make an offer. But little do they know, Manchester United were in talks with the youngster since the summer, and his transfer almost went through, if not for the fact that we were low on funds and he was deciding to stay on and finish his last 6 months in Brazil and then make the move to Europe. Guys, I know what you're thinking. The Glazers may not make these sorts of deals done, but what you can be sure of is that Eric Ten Hag and the sporting team that was with him, we don't have an actual real sporting direction team, but the current staff there already knew the player, already spoke to his agent since the summer, and they're very interested in Marcus Leonardo as well as Loran and Luis Gulaham. You always leave room open because there's a cheeky Gabriel Mascaro in the building and he's very good. And, it may be possible. So, guys, like I would always be saying, I would like the likes of Nico Williams and maybe a cheeky Savio or something like that. But, the finances don't play Manchester United well right now. So maybe we may not be able to afford these types of players who are going to be for some huge price tags unless it's going to be a swap deal with, some delayed payments. It's not really plausible. So, guys, we're in the bargain bin, but sometimes there's some exciting stuff in here. And as we move forward, you would see that Manchester United has opened talks with the Euro giant Stuttgart for 27-year-old attacker Serhu Garassi. Talks are ongoing. They started this morning. And guys, he's another interesting talent. And being as I'm placed well in Germany to observe the Bundesliga, guys, I can say that he's been a very exciting talent this season. He scored 5 goals in one game as well. And the guy has been playing his socks off. The only question I have is that last season he was not really doing anything. So it's maybe one of those things where he hit a vein of form this season. I would like to see more of a sample size before we rush in for him. But the reason why I'm so gung ho for Marcos Leonardo, because this young talent has played 41 games in Brazil, scoring 37 goals, and he's not stopping. He's that different type of striker, that pure goal scorer, low center of gravity, takes on his man, shoots from anywhere. He's got it left, he's got it right. I think United need to get this young man. You know what I mean, guys? And let's keep it moving. It's not going to be a long stream. I know a lot of you are probably looking at the Mark Goldberg show, but you know what? Take it in, because sometimes my stories come before him and he talks about the same things. And we usually have similar stories, guys. So check it out. Getafe is interested to permanently sign Manchester United loanee Mason Greenwood. Will the Red Devils sanction this? I highly doubt it, guys, because Mason Greenwood has been showing that form that he was in right before he was hit with that accusation and was forcibly suspended and had to spend 18 months on the sideline. And everyone thought that this youngster, his football career had died. But Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and even AC Milan, all of these clubs are interested. They are hovering around looking. Even Newcastle are looking. It's not surprising that a host of clubs are chasing after this talent. He's got a left foot demon and a right foot maestro, and the guy knows what to do on any wing, anywhere in the front line. He has that smell for goal. This is what you call a star boy, a talent, raw and refining himself right now. And with the maturity that he has grown leaps and bounds from an 18-year-old over the last year and a half. The patience that he has learned from being unable to play the game that he was giving his life and sacrificing for and working his best to become a big player at his dream club where he spent 12 years, Manchester United. And I argue that some fans, unlike the international fan base, and I would put myself in the international fan base, because we love this youngster and we were willing to forgive him because, mistakes are made, but it's not always something that, you have to chastise someone for. And I know a lot of people might have no remorse for the youngster, but we will always have it for Mason Greenwood. He is our MG11. Now he's MG12 at Getafe, but he will be back to United, and he's set to be back. And I hope it comes at the end of the season and not in January, because I don't want that same minority group of fan base to scream and hate him and project all that hate towards him for no reason, because at the end of the day, the situation did not involve any of them. They're just projecting some emotions against him. And, it's unfair because sometimes, I understand that, the topic at hand is sensitive, but, sometimes you have to take into consideration that, you know, maybe it was blown out of proportion and it's not what it seemed. And, the youngster deserves a second chance. And what is the definition of sport, guys? Good character, fair play, rehabilitation, finding one's true self and where they belong in this world. Guys, let's not stay too long on Mason Greenwood. The Starboy will be back to United. That's a given. Let's move on. And Ericsson is back in training, back from injury. And, he's also offering some advice, heartfelt condolences to Lockyer and his family. The captain of Luton suffered cardiac arrest, found himself on the pitch. The game had to be abandoned. Luton were in the ascendancy, looking like they were going to take a win from the team. And, it's very disappointing to see things like that happen on the football field. Heartfelt condolences go out to Luton. They feel like a small Manchester, a well-knit fan base, close to Hatters. And, I'm pretty sure that they are all distraught with what happened, but they are behind their team and behind their club captain. And everyone is, including Ericsson, who's offering advice and telling him he needs to focus on himself, take good care of himself, because right now, life is only once. You know what I mean? You only live once. And finally, we're going to close this very short show. As I say, Diogo Dalot was unfairly treated as Oliver applies double standards to Nunes' outburst and, defended on by Dermot McGallagher. But what else do you expect? These guys defend themselves. As I keep saying, The Premier League may be the best league in the world, but they certainly don't have the best referees. And maybe the PGMOL, they think that they know best what's for football and what's best for fans. But when you're like me, paying an expensive subscription just to view the Premier League games live when you're unable to be on English soil to watch them yourself at the stadiums, and then you see these sorts of crazy, unreasonable, disgraceful displays by individuals, and then they are defended by the fraternity, by the other referees for these, you know, inept, incompetent mistakes. You see managers get fined, get banned, get all sorts of things. You see players get the same. But these referees, they're rock stars. They're more important than everyone else. They don't even have to be impartial anymore. They can be openly biased and protected and be right. Because when they interviewed Dermot McGallagher, he's like, well, that doesn't look good, but I'll have to stand with the referee on this one. Can someone please explain to me how this is accepted as a norm? Has people lost their minds? As football fans became the butt of jokes of the media and the organization we know as the PGMOL, because clearly they think that we are all foolish. They change rules and make them subjective so they can create a drama. And it's very disappointing because you see the results in games. You see when some teams are blatantly biased against, when they're given tackles for slightest things, and the opposing team in the same match are chopping down their players. It's disgraceful and disgusting. They need this to be fixed because you know what? They're going to start losing viewers because people can't watch rubbish, especially when it doesn't work out in their brains that makes sense, because it does not make sense. And I urge the PGMOL and I urge all fans of football to come together and let's stamp out this nonsense of biased refereeing because it does not help any of our teams. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, football is a fair game, fair play rules, and we want the best. We don't want a written story or created drama. This ain't the movies. This is not Hollywood. This is football, guys. And you know what? I hope you guys had a good stream. Thank you for joining me today. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and smash that bell icon. You know what I mean? Leave your comments in the non-live section. Let me know what you're thinking. I will certainly reply to them. And I hope you all have a great day. And don't forget, right? This is the transfer talk. And sometimes in the transfer talk, it's always going to be about, you know, what's happening around the PL. And I know I focused a lot on Manchester United, but I also gave you information on certain other teams. Tomorrow is the big show where I officially present the targets of the Premier League giants. All of them, all top 10 clubs, as well as the remaining 10 in the bottom half of the table. They are all looking at targets in January, and I'm going to show you all of them. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining me. This has been your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan, with his presentation of the Daily Update Transfer Talk. Guys, hope you all have a great day and catch you guys later.